Hi everybody. I am going to be talking about the myth that people can live entirely off of unemployment benefits. So unemployment benefits are based on your quarterly earnings for the last year before you became unemployed. If you are being employed at the federal minimum wage of $7.25, that comes out to $15,080 a year. A quarter of that is 3,770, and you take that quarterly number and divide it by 26, and that's how you get your weekly benefit, which comes out to $145 a week and about $630 a month. So that if we're going with the best case scenario, let's say you live in the cheapest state and the cheapest city in that state. According to Zillow, Mississippi is the most affordable state to live, and the most average place the most populated place is Jackson. So according to Zillow, if you look up the average rent price in Jackson, that's $1,200. So right off the bat, you cannot pay your rent if you're on unemployment insurance. And you're most likely paying something average because you expected to have income that you could afford the place that you're living in. So let's say, like, absolute best case, we're saying like, oh, you have all these other benefits you could use, like you could get into Section 8 housing. First of all, Section 8 housing is limited. There's high demand and a limited amount of spots. And you're not guaranteed to get anything. They don't have to take you. They can just deny you if they just say you're not a good fit for whatever reason. They say on the Housing and Urban Development U.S. website that to expect months-long waiting. And even then, even if you get in, you still usually have to pay a security deposit. So if you are unemployed and if you have savings, you've pretty quickly ate through them, and it still takes time to get processed. So, but let's say magically you get on the Section 8 list and you're able to move immediately after getting fired. You're able to terminate your lease without any penalty and move into the most affordable housing in the area. Section 8 still charges 30% of your income. So they don't cover it entirely for free. So if you're living on unemployment, that's $188 per month. Utilities are not included in that because they're basically saying you are already getting benefits. They don't want you to be double dipping onto all these different things because you're already on uninsurance and you're already going into Section 8. So for me personally, I spent $67 on water this month and about $200 for electricity. I just live in a 1-bedroom apartment. It's 1,000 square feet. I don't have any sort of fancy electronic equipment, just what you'd find in the average home. So if you take that money and you add it, you quickly adds up to be completely cutting your budget into almost 75% of your budget. But a lot of people will say, oh, but you're also getting SNAP benefits. SNAP benefits are limited to 3 months and 3 years. So if you're unemployed for more than 3 months, that 4th month, you're just dropping that off completely. So you can get $300 a month if you're just one person on SNAP, but you are limited to that 3-month period. So there's other things to consider too. So even if all of that squeezes right into the amount of money you're getting, you still have to consider like your phone plan. Most people are getting like an average phone plan that offers like unlimited data, and it's not like the worst plan, but it's not the best plan. If you're completely cutting your costs to not mooch on the system, if you completely cut your costs and go with the most affordable plan that you can find in Jackson, Mississippi, it comes out to $60 a month for a line. Most people lease their phones because buying a phone is expensive. So the average lease for the worst cell phone you can get is $8.50. That's not considering having transportation. Jackson, Mississippi has a very poor transportation system, just from my own research. So you're going to have a car, especially if you're on unemployment insurance. You have to be actively looking for jobs and going to job interviews and going to career centers for like counseling. So even if you try to like trade in your car, the average price for a lease in Jackson, Mississippi from their local dealership was about $450 a month. Then you have to consider car insurance, and the average car insurance is $170 per month, according to Fair Credit Car Insurance. So if you're trying everything you can possibly do to penny pinch all of your money, you're still gonna be spending more than what you're getting. And then that's not even considering sales tax. There are plenty of things SNAP doesn't cover. Like if you're a woman, you're going to be needing to buy pads or tampons every month, and then the sales tax on that. You need to buy what if you need to buy clothes? If you have pets, you're going to have to pay for pet food, things like that. So all of these things just it's absolutely impossible to live off of unemployment insurance entirely if you are even in the most affordable city in the United States. And then even if you took away your car and you're like, oh, I'm only using the bus, by some miracle you can get everything there, that's still going to cost you, it's a max of $4 a day. If you're going for 3 interviews a week in the career center, that's going to come out to about $55 a month. So it might not sound that big, but when your whole entire monthly budget is $630, that's a big chunk of it. So, and then especially once you get rid of that SNAP benefit, it's just impossible. So that myth is if you just do the numbers, it's completely untrue and it's completely impossible. But for some reason, that is still something that people believe today.